So this is lesson 6-4 about proving a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So our objective for this day is we will be able to use the sides and angles and diagonals of a quadrilateral to determine whether it is a parallelogram or not. And now we have a first example. Investigate slides to confirm a parallelogram. So in a quadrilateral ABCD, AC, okay, right here, AC is the diagonal, and AB is congruent with CD, and also AD is congruent with CB. So remember, the first property of parallelogram is opposite sides are congruent. Okay. Now, the question for this example is ABCD a parallelogram? Explain. Okay. Now, is the parallelogram ABCD? Now, study tip. Recall that any segment is congruent to itself by reflexive property. So where is the reflexive property here? This one, the diagonal, right here. Since these two triangles, ABC and CDA or DAC, they share the same side. So that makes it a reflexive property. Okay? So by means of side, congruence of a triangle, we all know that ABC and CDA are congruent with each other. And by the converse of alternate interior angles theorem, so where is the alternate interior angles theorem here? So this angle right here, and this angle right here, that's congruent. And this is alternate interior angle right here and right here. They are congruent. By definition, quadrilateral ABCD is a parallelogram. All right, so let's have example 1, investigating sides to confirm a parallelogram. So this is on page 148 of your workbook. Okay, page 148. Answer that one. Explain why you cannot conclude that ABCD is a parallelogram. So why is this not a parallelogram? Okay. Take note the properties of parallelogram. Make that one as your reference in order for you to explain why you cannot consider this one as a parallelogram. Now let's proceed to the theorem 6-1. This is the converse of theorem 6-7 about the parallelogram or the properties of parallelogram. So it states that if both pairs of opposite sides of a quadrilateral are congruent, so this one is a quadrilateral, if both opposite sides, so this side and this another pair of side are congruent, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. We have here another example, example 2, explore angle measures to confirm a parallelogram. Okay. Theo sketches a design of a building with a quadrilateral shaped base. If angle 1 is supplementary to angle 2 and angle 4, is his design a parallelogram? Okay, so remember the consecutive angles. The angle 1 and angle 2 are consecutive angles, and we call them as well a same side interior angles, or supplementary, which adds up to 180 degrees. Now, for the same side interior angles, since it's supplementary, the top and the bottom sides are parallel. So where is it? The top and the bottom sides are parallel. Now, the same concept applies to the angle 1 and angle 4. They're both consecutive angles as well. They are supplementary and they are same side interior angle. So therefore, Left and right sides are parallel as well. So where is it? Where is the left and right side of angle 1 and angle 4? The left and the right side are parallel. So top and the bottom are parallel. Side are parallel. Both sides are parallel. Therefore, the quadrilateral has two pairs of parallel sides. So it is a parallelogram. The design is a parallelogram. And now let's continue the example 2. Try it, number 2. Okay, answer the one in your workbook. Try it, number 2. So the letter A is DEFG a parallelogram? Explain. If you say yes, explain. If you answered no, explain. And don't forget the property of parallelogram, which is opposite angles are congruent. That applies to A and B as well. So is it a yes or no? Don't forget to explain your answer or give a reason why you say yes and no. Okay, and let's proceed to example 3 before you answer the next. Try it in your workbook. Okay, so for this one, all right. Okay, so let's have the first example. For what values of R and S is W, X, Y, Z a parallelogram? So what we're looking for is what is this value? What is the S and what is the R? Okay, now let me repeat. One of the properties of a parallelogram is two opposite sides should be congruent. Okay, therefore that's the one that we're going to, that's our reference. So first is you have to equate the expression 4r plus 7 is equal to 7x plus 1, which is this. Okay, multi-step equation, you will get your r. So let's solve. Okay, so that is 7r plus 1. What we are getting rid first is 1. So let's write 7r plus 1 is equal to 4r plus 7. Okay. Alright, so again, 7r is equal to 4r plus 7. Okay, get rid of 1 minus 1, cancel. So 7r is equal to 4r. This is 7 minus 1 is 6. Combine r by subtracting r, or 4r. So that would be 3r is equal to 6, and then divide both sides by 3. So r is equal to 2 because 6 divided by 3 is 2. And that is now the value of your r. Okay, the same process, what you're going to do with the 2s minus 2 and s plus 5, you have to equate that one and solve for s. Okay. For letter B, the same application. Okay. So this A is all about the opposite sides, while for the letter B, it's all about interior angles. So the one of the properties of parallelogram again applies, which is these two opposite angles should be congruent, and the other one as well is congruent. Okay, so the same process, you have to equate and then solve for A and solve for B. With that, let's try number 3, letter A and B. So what you're going to do is answer 3 and A and B. So let me give you a hint. For letter A, it is about opposite angles are congruent. So you have to equate this two. And of course, you have to equate again these two as well. All right, now make use of x is equal to 25 and y is equal to 30. So what you're going to do is you have to plug in and substitute. This x is equal to 25 and this y is equal to 30. So the y is equal to 30. Plug it in. For the y, this one. For the x, that would be x is equal to 25. For try it letter B, the same concept. You have to equate the opposite sides and equate the opposite sides. And of course, since you have the value of g is equal to 14 and h is equal to 5, that's the one that you're going to substitute or plug in to your g and to your h. And from there, you're going to apply the property of parallelogram if the two sides are congruent or not, or two pairs of opposite sides are congruent or not. Okay, another theorem is if one pair of opposite sides of quadrilateral is both congruent and parallel, then the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay, in this case here, even if it's just one pair of quadrilateral or of opposite sides is both congruent and parallel, then we can consider that one is parallelogram. So right here. So even if just one pair, then it can still be considered as a parallelogram. Okay, let's go for try it number 4. So for the values of P, for what values of P and Q is A, B, C, D a parallelogram? Okay, so what you're going to do is, since it's actually about the diagonals, so remember the diagonal it should be bisecting each other. Okay, so when we say bisecting each other, this should be the same. Okay, the 7p plus 1 should be equal to 5p plus 3. Okay, so this one right here and right there. Of course, the same concept on the other diagonal, that would be the A, which is 3q plus 1, and the other segment right here, which is 2q plus 3. So what you're going to do is you will also equate both expressions. So you have to, okay, I'll help you set up the equation. So for the p's, that would be 7p plus 1 is equal to, okay, 2p's. That would be 5p plus 3. So what you're going to do is find the value of p. On the other hand, what you're going to do on the q is you have to equate as well the q, which is the 3q plus 1 and 2q plus 3. So that's what you're going to set up on the other side. 3q plus 1 is equal to 2q plus 3. And then solve for q. What is p and what is q? Now let's have try number 5. Is ABCD a parallelogram? Explain. Okay, why is it a yes or a no? Is it a parallelogram? And what about your B? Is EFGH a parallelogram? Okay, now remember, for letter B, it should have a indicators, okay? Is it a complete indicators? What about for B? Now for B, remember the theorem. The two consecutive angles or the interior angles should add up to 180, and there should be one pair of opposite sides congruent. Does that apply for B? Okay, and to apply that one in a real life situation, verify a parallelogram. So a mechanic races a truck using a lift. For safety, the floor must be horizontal and the top of a lift must be parallel to the floor. Now, is the lift shown in a safe position? Explain. Okay. Now, based on this Diagram, we have two consecutive angles, 75 and 105. Are these two adds up to 180 degrees? Yes, it is, right? So it adds up to 180 degrees. Therefore, the two sides are parallel. This one, the two sides are parallel, which is true because this is 6, okay? It shows here 6 feet and it shows here 6 feet as well. Now, it follows that the side of the lift holding the truck is parallel to the floor and the lift is in safe position. So this is a parallelogram. For the last, try it number 6. A carpenter builds a table shown. If a floor is level, how likely is that ball placed on the table will roll off? Okay, now you have to prove if this parallelogram, if this figure is a parallelogram. Okay, thank you. And lastly, for the exit ticket, okay, review the concept summary for today's lesson and answer the exit ticket, which is do you understand and do you know how? Okay, that is from 1 up to 9. Thank you.